first we're going to make the juice, and then I'm going to make the smoothie and talk to you about making smoothies.
Okay, so let's cover some of the ingredients that you picked up today from the farmer's market.
Okay, so we have collards. So I like collards because they don't have a big taste on their own. They kind of blend with other things. And kale. And then Planet Forward had a bunch of other greens, even like bok choy would be good. The only thing that I would really stay away from when it comes to greens and juicing and smoothies is mustard greens because they're really spicy and you can overpower the juice or the smoothie and only taste that. And then we have some herbs. This is parsley. And then this is a celery that's growing here in Houston. So it looks a little bit different than the celery that we see at the grocery store, but it's a great alternative for getting local produce. And then we're going to do carrots. And when you're juicing the carrots, you're going to juice the whole thing, the greens and everything. And when we do the smoothie, we're going to add a little bit of the carrot tops, the greens, to the smoothie just to make it more green, but we don't, again, want to overpower it with the carrot taste.
Super. How long have you been juicing?
I have been juicing since 1991. I accidentally got a job at a juice bar, and I've just been juicing ever since then. You know, first it was just a job, and then I just got really interested and intrigued with juicing because we had people coming in there with lupus and cancer, and being 19, you know, I had never really heard of autoimmune disorders or even people trying to cure themselves and using juicing and herbs. That was a really big thing at the grocery store that I was working at the time. Herbs were like a really big deal, and vitamins and juicing. And so I started reading a lot of books about juicing and talking to these people and trying to help them on their journey. And really it helped me, I guess, on my life journey because here I am.
And so you are an entrepreneur. You own several businesses. So not just Juice Girl, but tell us about the other business that you also own.
So we started Over the Moon a few years ago because I became allergic to cow dairy. And so I started making vegan ice cream. Kind of just for myself and as a hobby. And then we started selling it at the farmer market, and we got a really good response from it. And so then we opened a vegan ice cream shop. And then now with, you know, the virus, we just kind of consolidated the juice bar and the Over the Moon vegan ice cream all into one store here. And you can also get our vegan ice cream at Central Market. It's in all of the Central Markets in Texas. Central Markets, just at Texas, but they have 10: San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and Austin.
Excellent. And so every Saturday at the farmer's market, you can find Juice Girl. And what is your top seller? Which juice is the most popular?
We have a juice there that we sell called Green Glow, and it's our most popular.
And what are the ingredients of Green Glow?
The Green Glow is a cucumber, orange, pineapple base with kale, spinach, ginger, turmeric, lemon, lime.
Excellent. Well, it is my favorite go-to. Whenever I see Green Glow, I purchase it because it has a lot of silica and I want my skin to look beautiful. So it's a little bit of vanity, but I also feel good afterwards. So I get the plus. Okay, so I guess we'll get started on this first juice. So we have all of the ingredients.
Okay, so for the beginners and even the experts, I'm going to show you how to prep citrus because you want to get all of the rind off, but you don't have to get all the white part off. But you don't really want to juice any of the peel or you have a bitter juice or smoothie. So the best way is to cut both ends off, and then then it'll have a flat surface, and then you're going to go around and get the majority of the rind off. It doesn't have to be 100%. We just want to get the majority so it's not bitter. So I'm going to start with 2 grapefruits. So we're going to do 16 ounces. Citrus is really good for low calories. Carrots have some calories, but it's all natural things. And greens, these are all going to be low calorie, low sugar. And then you just want to prep everything and have it the size so it'll fit into your machine, okay? And then we do have a couple of oranges that we were able to get from actually my mom's orange tree. And so
those look like blood oranges.
one of them definitely is a blood orange, and then I'm not sure this one's something else. Okay. So it's best to put your greens in first when you're doing a juice because you want the things with more water or liquid to flush out the greens, okay? So you'll need more ingredients when you're juicing than when you're doing a smoothie.
So that's fresh parsley and celery tops from Planet Forward Farms.
Save a little bit of each of them for the smoothie later on.
So these are bundles, and this is what is in season at the farmers market, and also what we're growing locally in our gardens. So kale, parsley, carrots. There's still time to plant January to February so that you can get a harvest by March before it gets too hot.
Of these items, like
yes.
carrots and
yes.
herbs. So you want to put about a handful in at a time. That way you don't clog your machine. Nothing more fun than clogging the machine. And then we're going to use about half of the collards and about 3/4 of the kale. And we're going to save the rest for the smoothie. I like collards a lot in my smoothie because they just don't have a lot of flavor, I guess, on their own. I'm sure that's really the right way to say it, but they take on other flavors. They have a lot of health benefits. I actually bought all these ingredients on Saturday at the farmer market, and they've held up really well during the week. I would suggest if you're going to buy greens, to buy about 4 different types of greens and a couple of herbs the first time you're going to juice. Buy a bundle of carrots, 1 or 2 leaves. Citrus is going to come in like bags. We also have cauliflower, but we're going to use that in our smoothie to give it some hardiness. And then I'm going to cut the carrot tops off, and we are going to use the greens of the carrots. We're just cutting them off because it's a lot easier to get it all in there. And then if you do have a juicer or you're planning to get a juicer, I would suggest getting a Breville juicer. It's similar to this juicer. They do have a slow juicer. I think it's called the Fountain. It's the easiest one to clean. And then I would suggest getting glass bottles like mason jars and juicing for 2 days at a time. That way you're not having to do all of this prep and clean every day. We deliver juice every week to people. Some people were delivering like 2 times a week, and they all had a juicer, but they just got tired of juicing. So that's why I suggest that people get the glass mason jars and do all your juicing for 2 or 3 days, and then it'll go a lot more smooth for you. And I did put part of a lemon in. It's a Meyer lemon. We're going to put a little bit into our smoothie. Lemon is really great for you. It's great for your immune system. And if you can find ginger or turmeric at the farmer market, I would suggest getting that as well. Those are both good for inflammation and to build your immune system.
Could you spell how you spell the juicer that you just recommended?
Breville, Breville. You can get it online. I'm sure Amazon has it.
Could you spell it one more time?
Yeah, I didn't remember. Breville. So we do have 24 ounces of juice. So it's going to be a little bit more than 16 ounces, but that's fine. You never know how juicy your citrus is going to be. The carrots are actually really juicy for being this time. Also, strawberries will be in season soon. Those are great things to add to your juice and smoothies. Also, when things are in season, you could overbuy them. I know, like the peach lady, I love getting her peaches, and like she has overripe peaches that you can buy at a discount, and then you freeze them, and you can freeze them for all year. We actually do that here at Juice Girl with the peaches. And then she has pears and sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are really great juice as well.
Really? Do you get a lot of juice from potatoes?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
You can add cinnamon and some other spices to sweet potato juice, and it's a very nice one. All right, so this is our green juice. So this is, see, it's green. This is what it's gonna look like. Are you gonna taste some, Carol?
Sure, I'll taste them.
And then we're gonna put it in your bottle. So this is what I'm saying. When you get the glass bottles, you're just gonna fill them all up with the glass bottles, and you're gonna make 2 to 3 days worth at a time.
Oh, great. And how long will it keep in the refrigerator?
With the lemon, this will keep for a good week. Yeah, I mean, I know like people are worried that it's going to oxidate and they're going to lose enzymes, but it's still better than buying anything at the grocery store, because everything that you buy at the grocery store is currently pasteurized. I don't care what they say. Everything now by the FDA has to be pasteurized. Even HPP is a pasteurization, and anything that's going to kill the bad stuff kills the good stuff. So I would always add lemon to a juice, like a fourth or half or a whole one. I like bitter juice, so this one has a whole lemon, and it's a natural preservative.
Excellent.
Do you want to get a cup back there?
Sure.
You see them? So Carol's going to get hers, and we do have eco-friendly cups, so they're biodegradable. So everything here at Juice Girl is biodegradable or glass.
Excellent. So it's sustainable. You're practicing what you preach in terms of sustainability by having recycled cups and containers.
Yes. And I would suggest, like, if you ever bought any Juice Girl, is it good?
It's very sour.
It's sour.
It's from the lemon. It's very sour.
Yeah. So I would suggest then, if you're at home, to only maybe use, well, you would maybe make more than we made. So you could use half of a lemon or a fourth of a lemon if you don't want it sour. I guess I should. You want to hand me another cup and I can try it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Of course.
No. So I'm going to taste it. A lot of these recipes I did not come up with by tasting them. I've only made one bad smoothie ever in my life. Yeah. So if you've had our Shine at the farmer market, it's similar on the tartness of that.
Okay, so this is similar to Shine.
Does anybody else have any questions? You can feel free to type them into the chat. Oh, here's one from Mancy. How do you decide the proportions of citrus versus greens?
Well, we want a lot of greens to make it green, make the juice green. Also, you want to be able to use a lot of greens. That way you're consuming a lot of the greens. I bought 2 bundles of greens for this. We don't, unless we're juicing in mass quantities for the farmer market or cleanses, we don't really like have a recipe that we're using. And so that's why I would just tell people at home to get like 3 to 4 bundles of greens and a couple of herbs, and then like a bundle of carrots, a head of cauliflower. And then when you get your citrus, you're going to have to get it usually by the bag. And so we get like a bag of oranges or some grapefruit. Not everybody likes grapefruit, so just use oranges. And there's a lot of oranges for sale at the farmer market. And then get a couple of lemons. And then you would just pretty much juice all of the greens that you have bought. And then you'll just kind of guesstimate on the oranges for how many, to make like 32 ounces or 48 ounces. You would then just use that with the citrus. This recipe, I think we're gonna like write it out, or it's gonna be available somewhere to make 16 ounces. That's kind of what we made a little bit more, but we're gonna get the 16 ounces, and so then you could just double it to make more.
Okay, so you didn't use the whole grapefruit and the whole orange. You just used part of each.
Yeah, so I had 3 grapefruit, and we didn't use 3/4 of one. And then I had 2 oranges, but we only used 1.5 oranges. So we're going to use that in our smoothie.
Okay.
And then there was another question. Can you talk about masticating juicers versus centrifuge?
Yeah, so the Breville fountain that I was speaking of, it does look like this, but it is a masticating juicer. And so those are also called slow juicers. And that's why you'll be able to save the juice for 3 to 5 days. I mean, that's what, like, when you go online, that's what people say. But we tell people when they buy the juice at the farmer market that it's good for a week. And generally that's true. I mean, it's just still going to be better than anything that you still buy at the grocery store.
So why is a masticating juicer better than a centrifuge?
Some people believe because it's slower, it's working slower, so you don't get the air in it.
Oh,
so the air is what some people say will break down the enzymes.
Okay, but do you still have a lot of pulp left afterwards that you have to clean out of the juicer?
Yeah, both of them are going to have pulp that you have to clean out. So the pulp does come out into a basket on this one, and the home juicer I was talking about, but you are going to have some pulp in your basket.
Okay, and do you make anything with the pulp? I'm just curious.
We don't currently here because we're making so much at a time, and you can at home because then you can change out the baskets. Here we have a very large trash can that all the pulp's going into. So
okay, so at home you can compost it.
At home you could compost it, or you can make, like energy bites if you're using all this stuff. I would just maybe separate out the citrus from like carrots and greens, and then you could use like the carrot and green pulp to make energy bites.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Okay, so now we're on to our next recipe.
All right, so now we're going to do the smoothies, and we are going to start with a cup of water. So if you use water, it's going to be lower in calories than using like store-bought apple juice or orange juice or something like that. If you do have a juicer, then you could juice your oranges or grapefruit. But I suggest making smoothies with filtered water as your base. One, because it's low in sugar or no sugar, and calories. And I would just start with a cup. And so because we had some citrus left over, we are going to add a half of an orange and probably just a half of a grapefruit. So when you do the smoothies, this is when you definitely want to get most of the white fleshy part off your citrus. And then because I love lemon and everything, I'm going to add a little piece of lemon. And then we're going to add a couple of carrots. So I have a pretty industrial juice a blender here, so you wouldn't really normally need to chop up anything. But at home, I wouldn't go out and just buy a blender. I would just use whatever blender you have and then just chop stuff up, okay?
Would you recommend steaming the carrots if you had a $30 blender?
So the point of all of this, like juicing and smoothies, is more like where it's raw, so you're getting all your nutrition from it. And then we're gonna, I ate some of the cauliflower, that's why I didn't juice it. This cauliflower is really good. Look, it's so pretty. It's like purple inside. Purple. And this is gonna give it some hardiness. Like I was saying, if you've gotten some fruit from the farmer market during when it was in season and you froze it, this would be a great time to use the frozen fruits. pears, peaches, sweet potatoes, strawberries, blueberries. Blueberries are going to come up in June, and you can buy a bunch of those and freeze them. And just get like Ziploc bags and just freeze one bag of whatever fruit you like. And I would do like maybe 3 bags total.
I just noticed that you put the carrot tops as well in your smoothie.
Yes.
Okay, so even the carrot tops you can add to your smoothie.
So this smoothie is just going to be enough for 1 to 2 people. Also the smoothie, you can get your glass bottles. And if you make enough smoothies for 2, but there's only 1 of you or only 1 of you wants a smoothie that day, I would just put it in the glass bottle and put it in the refrigerator, and you can have it later. And then we are going to blend this up, and then I'm going to talk to you about some additives that you can add to smoothies to give you more fiber and protein. So like people who are vegan are going to need, to be consuming some more protein. And so it's going to look full with all the kale. I've used about 2 leaves of kale and about 6 leaves of collards.
Are cauliflower leaves edible, and can they be juiced?
Cauliflower and broccoli leaves are edible. They just happen to be more fibrous, so you have to use the very young leaves that are coming in.
Yeah. So I've actually had this cauliflower for 2 weeks. I bought it the Saturday before the recent Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And so the leaves are kind of funky. But I did bring some cauliflower from my house to use for the smoothie, because cauliflower is really good in a smoothie. So you can also freeze the cauliflower, and it can take the place of bananas. So you're not getting as much sugar for like people who are diabetic or just trying to cut down on sugar. All right, so there's our very green smoothie.
How is it?
It's very green. But it's good. I mean, so if you're consuming a lot of sugar, it's green, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It's mildly sweet. It's not over sweet.
Yeah.
Like most smoothies.
Yeah. And also, like if you've frozen the frozen fruits from the farmer market, like I was talking about before, then you can make it sweeter. Peaches, like the peaches that you can get at the farmer market, our peaches are really, really sweet. And you can freeze those. Peaches, pears, sweet potatoes, blueberries, strawberries. Those are all great things to freeze and have throughout the year. Also, you can add spices to your smoothie, like cinnamon, ginger. That'll give it a different flavor too. Chia seeds, hemp seeds, those are good to add. The chia seeds is going to give you your omegas. It has all the omegas in it, and it's high in fiber. And then hemp seeds, or they also are called hemp hearts. They're going to be a full protein, and so instead of getting protein powders, you could use hemp seeds instead. Because I think there's like about 9 grams of protein in a spoon of hemp seeds. And then also it'll make your smoothie creamy. It gives it like a creamy nut flavor and consistency.
And where do you find hemp seeds?
I mean, all of those you're going to find at the grocery store.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. I see you have some elderberry syrup.
Yeah, so we do have elderberry syrup, and you could add that to the smoothie as well. And so we're going to add it to this smoothie. We do make this elderberry syrup here, and we sell it at Urban Harvest. This is a vegan elderberry, so we make it with maple syrup instead of honey. This is local elderberries that we're using, and it's good to boost your immune system, elderberries.
Excellent. Let's get a shot of it real close up to the camera, just so you folks can kind of see that Gretchen has made this elderberry syrup, and elderberry, Latin name sambucol, is good because it is antiviral. It's a natural remedy that's often recommended if you're about to come down with a cold because of its antiviral properties. There is some contraindications out there that say if you already have a virus, to stop taking it. It's just, it is excellent for building the immune system as a natural defense against viruses.
So in this smoothie, we're going to add 2 lids, maybe 3 lids.
Okay, and I have a friend who made elderberry wine, and that was delicious.
Did they make that from the elderberries or the elderflower?
They made it from the elderberries,
Okay.
and I think they had some wine yeast and fermented it.
Yeah, you can make jelly from it too. It's really good, but then you're gonna have all the sugar.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
jellies are excellent, but then it would be extra sugar. So
We're just gonna do a quick blend, so it's just all kind of consistent. I don't think it's gonna change the flavor. I don't think it's enough. You could add more if you wanted. And it didn't. It's so green, it didn't change the color. I taste the cauliflower.
I think if you put a little bit of tamari in it, it would give it an Asian stir-fry flavor.
Okay, yeah. So I would just suggest people like freeze the peaches, blueberries, strawberries, pears, sweet potatoes. I'm pretty sure strawberries might be at the farmer market now, so you could get those too to make your smoothies sweeter. Also, as time goes on and you're drinking 1 green juice or smoothie a day, your taste buds will start to change, and you'll be more adapt to a really green smoothie.
And so would you add any nut milk to your smoothie to make it a little bit more creamy or add protein?
You could. So if you're looking for more protein or creaminess, then you could add a nut milk. I would suggest making your own so you don't have, and you can use your blender for that too. So you don't have all the gums and binders and, you know, other bad ingredients. And it's really easy to make a nut milk. If it's just 1 person, then I would start off with 2 cups of filtered water and a half a cup of nut. If you have more than 1 person in the house, then I would do 4 cups of water and 1 cup of nut. And you'll just blend it till it's creamy. Most nuts, except for almonds, you don't need to strain. And then you can also add cinnamon, agave, molasses, honey to your nut milks if you want them to be sweeter. Like you could also, to the smoothie, if you consume honey, you could add honey to it. That would make it sweeter too. Or molasses, maple syrup, those are other 2 good options that have health benefits.
I noticed that you have the chia seeds on the counter. Would you add those straight or would you soak them first?
Oh no, when you're making a smoothie, you're just going to add all of this raw.
Just, you would add it raw. So you wouldn't let it soak and get gelatinous first. You would just add it and blend it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And so if you do add it to your smoothie and you store one and you drink one, the one that you store in the refrigerator may be a lot thicker, so you might have to water it down and blend it up a little bit because it'll go into like a pudding-like form. Juice or the green smoothie, you don't have to follow this recipe. You can get any greens or fruits and vegetables that you like. Like you could substitute the broccoli for the cauliflower. This is just kind of a, you know, what Gretchen likes.
And so for someone who's beginning that wants just a little bit of an extra boost to be healthy, so you just mentioned what you recommend daily as a daily practice.
Yeah, I recommend that if you're a beginner, to start making green smoothies every day. It's the easiest way to get all your greens in. It's the easiest way to consume the amount of greens that we really need. It's really hard for everybody to sit down and have a huge bowl of salad or raw kale and collards. So that's what I do suggest, is just getting used to a hearty green smoothie once a day.
Excellent. Okay, so a green smoothie once a day. And you told us that a juice, you can make enough juice for 2 days.
2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days. And so does the same rule apply to your smoothie? Because we have a giant batch of smoothie. Can you save this
I
for
would
2
say
days?
this you could save for a day. So you can make 2 smoothies. So one that you're going to consume that day and then the one the next day. It's just because it kind of separates. It's hard to shake it back up like the juice. You know, you can shake it up. So like see the juice just kind of settles, and then you shake it up, and it's all together. The smoothie's a little bit harder to do. So I'm going to show you. We're going to bottle the smoothie, so then you'll kind of see the difference.
And if it does separate, could you just stick that back into the blender? Like say you're drinking it the following day, could you just try and re-blend that to blend it together again?
She asked, would you re-blend it in the blender the next day?
No, I wouldn't. I would just try to make a smoothie that's going to be good the next day. That's what I would suggest, because a lot of times what people get tired of doing is the cleanup every day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been good for me for the last 10 years because people don't want to clean up. So this is why we have so many juice deliveries and juice customers. But if you're trying to do this at home, and I would just make 2 smoothies, make something that you can just shake it up and go.
Excellent. Well, let's put our juices together so we can kind of compare. So we have.
So this is the juice, and this is the smoothie. This smoothie's definitely a lot thicker.
Yes, it's a bright green as well.
It is. But we used more fruit in the juice. So this has a lot more
concentrated
orange and grapefruit.
Okay.
So when you're juicing, because we used water, a cup of water in the smoothie. So, and that's what I would recommend doing, unless you want more protein. And then you would remember make your own nut or hemp milk. I mean, you can even make seed milk, like we make ice cream with sunflower seeds. And so,
oh, that sounds really yummy. And so when you make your own seed milk from sunflower seeds, are you blending it or are you juicing it?
We're blending it. So you can make all this at home in a blender. And if you don't have like this industrial blender, then this is one I would suggest. Like Carol was talking about soaking things, you would want to soak your nuts or seeds 12 to 24 hours before, and then it'll blend it up.
Okay.
And so the rule of thumb is 4 cups of water, 1 cup of nut or seed. And then of course, because you're not going to have any additives, so it's only going to last for like 3 days. So if it's just one person, then I would cut it in half and do 2 cups of water and half a cup of nut or seed. So that way it stays fresh. You can also use this in coffee and teas.
Excellent.
So
and so
suggest people to make their own nut and seed milk.
Yes, make your
so
own
easy.
nut and seed milk. Well, tell us all. Let's just name all of the seed and nut milks that you make, because Gretchen is a specialty vegan ice cream maker, and so part of making nut milks is that there are no additives in it, such as guar gum or other fillers. And so maybe that might be the next little workshop is seed and nut milks.
Yeah,
or ice cream, yes.
I mean, we could do a quick seed or nut milk now if you wanted.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay.
So we're going to do the 2 cups and a half a cup of seed. And we're going to do hemp seed. I have it here.
Oh, yeah. Let's show everybody what the hemp seed looks like.
And then will you give me one of those 2-ounce shot cups over there? 2-ounce shot cup. Yeah.
Oh, could we get a close up of what that looks like? I mean, the seeds.
Yeah. Okay. There's the seeds in there, but I'll show you on the water too. And a lot of times at the grocery store, they're called hemp hearts. So this is the inside of the hemp seed. And this is what it looks like. There we go.
Okay.
So I use 2 cups of filtered water and a half a cup of hemp seeds. And again, you could use sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, cashew nuts, Brazilian nuts. Brazilian nuts is really yummy milk.
Almonds.
So if you do make almond milk, you're going to want to strain it and get a cheesecloth. It's one of the nuts that are kind of coarse and they don't break down even if you soak them that well. Probably not 2 minutes here, but it's loud. But at home, I would definitely do it 2 or 3 minutes. So you just leave it on there, and then again, you're going to get one of your mason jar glass jars, and you're going to store it in that. Okay. It's foamy, and it looks kind of like milk. So I have some bottles here. So we can put it in a bottle and see it. And we use hemp milk and cashew milk here at Juice Girl and Smoothies and lattes.
And how long does that last in your fridge again?
This will only be good for about 3 days. That's why I suggest if it's just one person doing the half amount. So it's about 16 ounces.
Would you add a pinch of salt to it? Do you ever add just a tiny bit of salt?
We don't here because we're blending it with fruits and other things. And so we don't add any, we just make a straight seed or nut milk. And then when we're making the ice cream, we don't add any additives to it either, except for the ice cream ingredients. So like cacao or blueberries, strawberries, or whatever. Coffee. Sometimes because we do have a coffee, so we use half cold brew, half hemp milk.
Oh,
we don't add any sugar or agave or salt to it. But at home, you could add salt or agave maple syrup. If you want to make chocolate milk, you could use like cacao and maple syrup. We could add cinnamon to it. Also, you could put dates in it instead of like honey or maple syrup or agave. You could use dates. And so for 2 cups, you would put in like 3 dates. So not a lot, but you'll definitely need to blend it up a little bit longer or let your dates and nuts or seeds soak overnight.
Excellent. It looks delicious.
You shouldn't have to strain any of these seeds or nuts. Almonds is really the only one that you have to strain. It's gritty.
And it's not separating. It looks like it's...
oh, yeah, I know.
So you yourself do not add any additives to the nut milk to prevent it from separating?
No, we don't.
We're going to go ahead and close this class. It was short and sweet. Thank you so much, Gretchen.
All right, thank you.